This video is about a sensational and a controversial topic: reincarnation. Reincarnation is a belief that states after death, one's soul is reborn into a new body. While the concept of reincarnation can be found in various religions and philosophical systems, there have been numerous cases reported of individuals who claim to remember their past lives. These cases often involve detailed and verifiable information that the person would not have known otherwise. I'm going to talk about 3 important cases. Have you heard about Miss Shanti Devi? Why our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, set up a committee to get a detailed report about her. To know more about this, watch out this full video without skipping. One way of explaining the term reincarnation is re-entering into the flesh. It is believed that our soul is eternal. So, after the body becomes old or unusable, it has to change into a new one. Reincarnation is a concept that has been discussed in detail for centuries, and there are numerous accounts of supposed reincarnation from various cultures and belief systems, while scientific communities generally remain skeptical about the validity of reincarnation. Some incidents have gained attention and generated interest. Here, I'm going to talk about 3 incidents that clearly shows reincarnation exists in some way or other. James Leininger. The case of James Leininger is one of the most well-known and thoroughly documented cases of supposed reincarnation. James Leininger, born in 1998, Louisiana, US, started having vivid nightmares and exhibiting unusual behavior at a very young age. James would often scream about being in a plane crash, specifically mentioning details related to World War II aircraft and battles. He talked about flying a Corsair aircraft and being shot down by the Japanese Navy. His parents, Bruce and Andrea Leininger, initially found his claims perplexing, but became increasingly intrigued as James provided specific names, locations, and other historical details. To investigate further, James' parents began researching about the World War II history, focusing on aircraft and battles. They discovered that a US Navy pilot named James M. Heston Jr., flying a Corsair aircraft, had been killed in an action in the Pacific during the Battle of Iwo Jima in 1945. Many of the details James had been mentioning aligned with the life and experience of James Heston Jr. Bruce and Andrea connected with Carol Bowman, an author specializing in children's past life memories, who helped them explore the possibility of reincarnation. James was able to accurately identify the names of ships and planes, describe historical events, and recognize former crewmates from photographs. The Leiningers also contacted James Heston Jr.'s sister, Annie Barron, who was amazed by the specific knowledge James possessed about her brother's life. James could recall the details about family members, his sister's nickname, and even remember attending a reunion with his former squadron. Over time, James Leininger's memories and claims faded as he grew older. Today, he no longer speaks about his past life as James Heston Jr. It's important to note that while James Leininger's case is intriguing, it's also controversial. Pollock Twins. The Pollock Twins, Jennifer and Gillian, were born in Hexham, England in 1958. At the age of 2, the girls began displaying behaviors and memories that seemed to suggest they were the reincarnations of their deceased siblings. The previous Pollock children, Joanna and Jacqueline, had died in a tragic car accident in 1957, a year before Jennifer and Gillian were born. The parents John and Florence Pollock were literally shocked when the girls started recognizing the toys that belonged to the deceased sisters. They also claimed to remember events and places from before their birth, which they couldn't have known otherwise. They accurately described the layout of the old house, even though they had never visited there. The Pollock Twins case attracted media's attention, and their parents consulted various experts, including psychologists and parapsychologists. Some researchers believed that the girls' memories could be explained by the theory of genetic memories, suggesting that they might have inherited certain traits or memories from their deceased sister. The story of the Pollock twins remains as a controversial one, with skeptics proposing alternative explanations like suggestions, fabrications, or coincidences. However, it is often cited as an example of reincarnation due to the seemingly accurate recollections and similarities between the girls and the deceased siblings. Shanti Devi. People hear of many cases of reincarnation these days, but in the 1930s, information about a girl born in a little known locality of Delhi who claimed to remember the past lives was considered a great news indeed. Shanti Devi, born in 1926, was a subject of speculation all of her life. On January 18, 1902, Chaturbuj, a resident of Mathura, was blessed with a daughter who was named Lugdi. When Lugdi reached the age of 10, she was married to Kedarnath Chaube, a shopkeeper of the same locality. Kedarnath Chaube owned a cloth shop in Mathura and also a brand shop at Hardwar. When Lugdi became pregnant for the first time, a child was stillborn following a cesarean section. For a second pregnancy, Kedarnath took her to the government hospital at Agra, where his son was born again through a cesarean on September 25, 1925. 9 days later, however, on October 4th, Lugdi's condition deteriorated and she died. Exactly 1 year, 10 months and 7 days after Lugdi's death on December 11, 1926, Baburang Bahadur, Mathur of Charawala Mohalla, a small locality in Delhi, was blessed with a daughter whom they named Shanti Devi. She was just like any other girl, except that until the age of 4, she did not speak much. But when she started talking, she was a different girl. She talked about her husband and her children. She said that her husband was in Mathura, where he owned a cloth shop, and they had a son. The parents considered it as a child's fantasy and took no notice. They got worried, however, when she talked repeatedly about it. Over time, narrated a number of incidents connected with her life in Mathura with her husband. She mentioned that her husband's shop was located in front of Dwarakish temple. By this time, Shanti Devi was 6 years old, and her parents were perplexed and worried to such statements. The girl even gave a detailed account of her death following childbirth. They consulted the family physician, who was amazed how a little girl narrated so many details of the complicated surgical procedures. The mystery thus continued to deepen. As this girl grew older, she persisted in asking her parents to be taken to Mathura. One day, a distant relation, Babu Bishan Chand, a teacher in Ramjas High School, Dariganj, Delhi, told Shanti Devi that he would arrange for a trip to Mathura after due enquiries. He wrote a letter to Pandit Kedarnath Chaube detailing all the statements made by Shanti Devi and asked him to visit Delhi. Kedarnath replied, confirming most of her statements, and suggested that one of his relatives, Pandit Kanjimal, who live in Delhi, be allowed to meet this girl. A meeting with Kanjimal was arranged, during which Shanti Devi recognized him as her husband's cousin. She gave some valid information about her house in Mathura. Kanjimal was so impressed that he went to Mathura to persuade Kedarnath to visit Delhi. Kedarnath came to Delhi on November 12, 1935 with Lugdi's son Navanith Lal and his present wife. They went to Rang Bahadur's house the next day. To mislead Shanti Devi, Kanjimal introduced Kedarnath as his elder brother. But Shanti Devi identified her husband correctly. She also told her husband's favorite dishes, and Kedarnath was dumbfounded on her words. She also mentioned about her well in the courtyard of their house. Shanti was emotionally overwhelmed on seeing Navaneet, the son in her previous life. Kedarnath asked her how she had recognized Navaneet as her son when she had seen him only once as an infant before she died. Shanti explained that her son was a part of her soul, and her soul is able to easily recognize this fact. Her story spread all over the country through the media, and many intellectuals got interested in it. When Mahatma Gandhi heard about it, he called Shanti Devi, talked to her, and requested her to stay in his ashram. Mahatma Gandhi appointed a committee of 15 members, including parliamentarians, national leaders, and members of media who studied the case. The committee persuaded her parents to allow her to accompany them to Mathura. They left by rail with Shanti Devi on November 24, 1935. The committee members took her in a tonga, instructing the driver to follow her instructions. On the way, she described the changes that had taken place since her time, which were all correct. When she reached the front of her house, she went in without any hesitation and was able to locate her room as well. Shanti then asked to be taken to her other house where she had lived with Kedarnath for several years. She guided the driver there without any hesitation. One of the committee members, Pandit Nehiram Sharma, asked her about the well of which she had talked in Delhi. She ran in one direction, but not finding a well there, she was confused. Even then, she said with some conviction that there was a well there. Kedarnath removed a stone at that spot, and sure enough, they found a well. Shanti Devi was then taken to Dwarakish temple and to other places she had talked of earlier, and almost all her statements were verified to be correct. The publications of the committee's report attracted worldwide attention, and many learned personalities, including saints, parapsychologists, and philosophers, came to study the case, some as support, some as critics, trying to prove it a hoax. One of the critics, Sture Lonestan, when he heard of this case, came all the way from Sweden to expose the fake as he thought it would be. But after investigation, he wrote, "This is the only fully explained and proven case of reincarnation there has been." Dr. Ian Stevenson, a leading authority on reincarnation, confirmed that Shanti Devi made at least 24 statements of her memories that match the verified facts. Shanti Devi's case is also significant for the fact that it is one of the most thoroughly investigated cases studied by hundreds of researchers, critics, scholars, and saints and eminent public figures from all parts of India and abroad in the mid-1930s on. As with any case of reincarnation, personal beliefs and interpretations vary, but scientific evidence supporting the phenomenon remains inconclusive. See you guys in the next video. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you.